So we're on top view. Let's go to sketch. We're going to use a new tool. Left click on top view, left click center point circle. Let's drag that out. And then let's hit escape. Left click on the dimension tool, left click and draw this out. Let's make that 0.48. So in real life it would be a 1/2 inch in diameter. But again, for the 3D printed assembly, the small scale, we're going a little bit smaller so those parts will connect. Go up here to the line tool in the same sketch without closing this out. Left click on the line, left click here, and then draw out a straight vertical line. Pull that away, hit escape. It doesn't matter the length because we're going to use this as our center point. Now we're going to left click on the dimension tool, left click on that line we just created, drag over, left click on the center of that circle, pull that down. We're going to go 28 inches because our hoop size is going to be 56. And so we're doing the radius. I'm going to hold the wheel down and pull this over so we can kind of see what we just created. So we've got that line 28 inches from the center of that circle. I'm going to close this out, left click on the check mark. Alright, so I'm in isometric view. Now we're going to go to revolve. This is a new tool we haven't used before, but this is what we're going to use to create these hoop segments. Left click on revolve. It's asking us faces to sketch. Let's go over to the circle we created, left click on that. It's asking us the axis. We're going to click on that line we created, and then it creates a hoop. So I'm going to go to front view and scroll out. So that's the full hoop segment. Now you could create one of these. We may create another one later on for assembly view, but we're not going to do that right now. And instead of full, which is what you see here, we're going to do a percentage of that. We're going to do this in one direction, and it's asking us how many degrees. And I'll have a mathematical formula in the index that will show you how you can determine how many degrees you need. Alright, so there's our top hoop segment we just created. Let's left click on the check mark. We're done with that. Let's go down here to part 10. Let's rename that. So right click on part 10, left click on rename. So the top hoop segments are going to be a different size than the bottom hoop segments. We're going to have 2. I'm going to left click on that. And we'll just right click on it again. Let's edit appearance. We'll change it to that silver color, indicating that it's a tube. So let's turn this one off. Let's go back. We'll repeat that process. Let's go back to the top view. And let's go left click on sketch. I'll go a little faster this time. Left click on top view. Left click center point circle. Left click in the center, draw that out. Left click on the dimension tool, pull that away and go 0.48. Keep this sketch open. Left click on the line tool, draw us a line, hit escape. Left click on the dimension tool, left click on that line we just created, left click on the center of that circle. We're going 28 inches. Scroll out so that we can see it. Close that sketch out. So let's go to revolve. Left click on the circle we just created. Left click on the line we just created. Let's go to one direction, and this is going to be 72.5. Right click on that, left click and hit rename. Let's go part 11, bottom hoop segment. So that's our bottom hoop segment. Right click on that again, edit appearance, and let's change that to silver. Alright, let's turn that one off. We're going to create the swing arms now. We're going to go to top view. We're We're going to go left click on sketch, left click top view, left click center point circle, hover over the center, left click, draw that out, and then hit escape to deactivate the center point circle tool. Left click on the dimension tool, left click the diameter of that circle. This one we are going to go 0.75. Not to confuse anybody, but this one doesn't have to fit inside anything. So we're going to go the normal dimension of what the actual part will be in real life. Left click sketch, left click right plane, left click line tool, left click here, draw that up to about a 1/2 inch. We're going to bring this one out to about 9.5. Bring this one back down. You see the dashed line. We're going to bring that out to about 9.5. We're going to bring this one up to pretty close to about 7. I'm going to hold down on the wheel tool and bring this out to about 2. That gives us our dimensions. So I'm going to go here first, and that's going to be 0.5. Won't change things very much. Bring this over. We want this to be 9.5. Want this one to be 9.5. Alright, that looks good. And you'll want to start in the order that I'm going in. 7 here, and then 2 inches here. Alright, good. So I'm going to scroll back out so you can kind of look at what our swing arm is going to look like. So there's our swing arm. Now we're going to add in the sketch fillet tool. So we're going to click on this line here, radius of 1. That's what we want. I'm going to just drag that around so we can see it. Alright, good. We're going to click here and here, radius of 1, hit enter. Click on this one, click on this one. Again, radius of 1. I'll move those around in just a second so that you can see them. And then this one, left click here, and again, that's going to be that radius of the bend. So I'm just going to drag these out. All right, so there's our sketch. Left click, close that out. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go to isometric view. We're going to go to sweep. We're going to left click on that circle, left click on sweep path, scroll in so that we can see this really well. Left click here, left click here. Roll around. We've got to get each segment, because if we miss one, it'll mess up. Left click, left click. So I'm just left clicking each segment until we finish all of it. So I'm going to go to right view so that you can see it. And then close the sweep out. So there's our swing arm. And we may have to resize it, may have to change the distance between these. We'll try it out. Now we've got to put the holes. We're going to do one at a time. So left click on sketch, left click on right plane, left click center point circle, come up here and then drag that out and then hit escape. Left click on the dimension tool, left click on the center of that circle, left click there on the edge. So we keep it about a 1/2 inch away from the edge there. All right, that'll be good. We'll drag that out so we can see that measurement better. Close that sketch out. Left click right plane, zoom in. Center point circle. Let's find our center point here. And then hit escape. Go here. We'll keep it a 1/2 inch away from the edge. That'll provide us a center point. We need to resize that circle, so hit your dimension tool and we'll go 0.315, just like the other one. All right, good. So now we have our 2 circles. This one is going to be to attach to the frame. This one's going to be the point that attaches to the harness, and then we'll have our carabiner up here. Let's go to extrude. We're going to select this sketch, that was that first circle, and this one too. So we should have 2. Now we see a cylinder popping out. So we're going to go from solid, remove. These are 3/4 of an inch. Oh, we've got to select those again because we changed it to solid remove. An inch, as long as it's symmetric, should be enough to cut the hole through a 3/4 inch tube. Then we can close that out and we'll inspect and make sure, yep, that looks good there. And that looks good. All right, let's go to right plane. Go down to part 12, right click on that, rename the part 12, that's going to be our swing arm. Right click on that again. Let's go edit appearance. Let's go silver and then close that out, and that's our swing arm. So we'll stop right there with part 12 because we're going to get into the connections in the next few videos.